Hello everyone, this is John Ramsey and I'm the principal agent here at Covenant Insurance. And Covenant Insurance is a agency that specializes in the senior market. We also do regular health insurance, we do life insurance, we do home, auto, and all that. But my passion as the principal agent here at Covenant Insurance is the senior market. That's where my heart is, and that's where my passion is. We've done several videos. On the first video was the ins and outs of Medicare Part A, and we have I've tried to simplify it as much as possible, if that could possibly be done. But and then also on Medicare Part B, we went in on the ins and outs of that. And then we did another video talking about the two different roadmaps that you can take once you have Medicare Part A and Medicare Part B. Should you go the supplement route? Should you go the Medicare Advantage route? And then of course I'm going to do a video on Medicare Part D. Actually, we're going to do two videos on Medicare Part D, because the one will just be the nuts and bolts of it, and then the other video will actually be the video of my screen as I'm going through a client's. And I'm not going to disclose the client or anything, and really I'm just going to, well, we're going to go through the easiest way to determine which Part D plan will be the most cost efficient for the particular member. So be looking for those. It's a subject that's near and dear to my heart. Now, Covenant Insurance is licensed to sell in Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, South Carolina, and Florida. So if you live in any of those areas, I would be more than happy to help you with your Medicare journey, whether it's a supplement or an Advantage plan, or if you're just needing a Part D plan, whatever the case may be. I would be more than happy to help you. My phone number is 423-902-7222, and that's my personal cell phone. So if you live outside of my network of where I'm able to sell, then you're still welcome to call me. I'll help you any way I can, and I'll try to find you an agent that will give you the same level of service and care that I would as if you were my own client. But let's get right into the video. The first thing I want to do is identify the gaps. Now, I'm not going to go into great depths on Medicare Part A and B, because I've already done that on previous videos. So I'm going to move kind of fast. So if you have questions about what I'm talking about, first of all, you can go back and watch the other videos, or you can just put a question in the message bar, or you can message me. These videos, I'm doing them Facebook Live. I'm trying to, if the equipment will, I've redone this video like 3 times. But it's also going on YouTube as well. So and be sure to hit like and share and everything else that you can do. All right, so let's quickly identify the gaps. Medicare Part A, that is your hospital coverage. Okay, it's your places: hospital, skilled nursing facility, hospice care, home health care, blood, things like that. Now, when it comes to hospital, okay, there is a deductible of $1,408, okay, and that's dollars. All right, and basically that covers the first 60 days of you being in the hospital. Then days 61 through 90, it's $352 a day, and then days 91 through, let's just say, 150, and there's a reason why I said it that way. You can go back and watch the first video, and I'll explain why I said it that way. But there's a per day charge of $704 per day, and then after that you actually have to pay all costs. All right, so obviously this is a gap, this is a gap, this is a gap. Your skilled nursing facility, Medicare actually pays the first 20 days of you going into a rehab. So you go into the hospital, you get a hip replacement, Then you go into the rehab to rehabilitate from the surgery. Okay, Medicare pays the first 20 days. So is that a gap? No, because Medicare is paying for it. They're picking up the bill. The problem is days 21 through what, 100? Yeah. 21 through 100, where you have to pay $178 a day. They change these figures on me every year, and I have to keep myself updated on all these costs. So this is a gap. So this is a gap, this is a gap, this is a gap. Hospice care, Medicare picks up all costs. So that's not a gap that we have to worry about. Home health care, I'm not talking about custodial care. I'm not talking about somebody doing your grocery shopping. I'm not talking about meals delivered to your home. I'm talking about occupational therapy, physical therapy, a nurse coming by and doing routine checks on you after a procedure or something like that. Home health is covered. Medicare picks up all costs there, so there's not really a gap there. So what we're going to say is, we're going to say the gaps is your hospital deductible, your per day charges, blood. You have to pay for the first 3 units of blood if someone didn't go in and donate it for you. So blood is a gap, and the skilled nursing facility per day. All right, so that's the gaps associated with Part A. Part B, the gaps. All right, you got the deductible of $198 per year. All right, that's the deductible. Then, of course, Medicare pays $80. You pay $20. So this is probably the biggest gap that everybody is concerned about, is the 20% that Medicare doesn't pay. And then there's also a thing called excess charges. And that's where the doctor can bill 15% above Medicare assignment. So let's just say that the doctor charges you $100, okay, and that goes along with Medicare assignment. Not really. I don't know what the Medicare assignment is for a regular doctor visit. This is for example sake only, okay? And by the way, these charges are as of 2020. Another thing, I am not employed by Medicare. I'm not a Medicare agent. I do not work for CMS, okay? I'm an independent insurance agent that specializes in Medicare plans, okay? So don't think I'm trying to act like some Medicare official, because I'm not. I'm an insurance agent, okay? But this is my passion, so I hope it shows. Anyway, for illustration purposes only, the doctor bills $100, Medicare pays 80%, and you pay 20%, okay? Well, actually, the line should go right here. All right. Doctor bills this, Medicare pays this, you have to pay this. Now, excess charges is where the doctor can bill 15% above assignment. So in this illustration, it would be $115 that he can bill above. Well, Medicare is not going to pay any excess charges. You are responsible for that, okay? Now, typically most doctors just charge Medicare assignment. But there are some doctors that do charge excess charges. So that's a question that you can ask the billing clerk at your doctor's office. Anyway, so in this illustration, Medicare would still only pay $20, and then you would now be responsible for your 20% plus the 15% of the excess charges. So you would have to pay 35. That could potentially be a huge gap, because when you start adding zeros out here, you start having major problems. God forbid. I hope you never have to experience that, but it could become a serious gap. So let's just put, for the gaps, the deductible of $198, the 20%, and excess charges. Okay. Now, let's talk about how to fill these gaps. If you turn 65 after January the 1st of 2020, the most comprehensive plan that you can buy is a Plan G. Now remember, Medicare has parts, Part A, Part B, Part C, Part D. Medicare Supplements has plans. Plan A, B, C, D, F, G, K, L, M, and N. So there's several plans out there available to you. But for someone that's turning 65 and we want to fill most of these gaps, the most comprehensive coverage that you can buy, okay, is going to be the Plan G. Now, let me say this. A Plan G with one company is a Plan G with another company. In other words, there are a lot of, I'm in North Georgia, okay? So there are probably 50 companies out there that offer a Plan G. Some of them you've probably heard of. Some of them you've probably never heard of. But they all have to pay exactly the same way. The Medicare New Book says, and I quote, Medicare supplements, every Medigap policy must follow federal and state laws designed to protect you. They must be clearly identified as Medicare supplement insurance, and they can only sell you a standardized policy. In other words, if you're going to go in the insurance business and you're going to offer a Medicare supplement to your customers, okay, you have to go by Medicare's strict guidelines of how you pay out. Now, with a Medicare supplement, you're not going to have networks. You're not going to typically have a lot of co-pays and things like that. And with you not having networks, you can pretty well go to any doctor that you want to see, as long as they accept Medicare, okay, as long as they're accepting Medicare clients. All right. When you walk in, regardless of the name of the company, company XYZ or ABC or FGL, whatever, what they're going to look at is what type of plan do you have. Do you have a Plan G, a Plan N, a Plan A, a Plan D? Whatever the case may be, that's what they're really going to look at, because all of these companies have to pay out the same way. All right. And the reason why I make such a big deal about that is you see a lot of advertisement talking about, let's get us a Medicare supplement by XYZ company, okay? And I'm not going to name any particular names, okay? But it's a company that you see every time you turn on the television. You see a commercial typically that about this particular company or that particular company. Well, who's paying for all that advertising? Well, the way they get their money is through premiums, and so typically a Plan G through that company is going to be a little higher typically than one through a company that you've never heard of. But the thing about it is, that company that you've never heard of, if they're going to offer a Medicare supplement, they've got to pay out the same way. And I have some people say, well, oh, Aunt Margaret, she had this big name thing, and she had all this heart problems, and she had all this surgery, and she didn't have to pay anything. So I want to pay more for that big name thing because I know it works good. The thing about it is, they all have to pay good. You know, when you're buying furniture or something like that, yeah, you get what you pay for, okay? But when it comes to a Medicare product, paying more is not necessarily a better thing. What you want to do is you want to try to get the best price and be covered as much as you can, okay? I'm just going to say it like that. So the Plan G is going to cover all of the Part A gaps, every one of them. It's going to pay the hospital deductible for you. It's going to pay the per day charges. It's going to pay for the blood. It's going to pay for the skilled nursing facility per day charges. Everything, all the gaps over here, it's going to take care of. It's going to take care of the 20% over here. It's going to pay for the excess charges over here. The only thing that it's not going to pay for is the Medicare Part B deductible of $198. So it tickles me, and I hope my dad will watch one of these videos, because I'm going to pick on him a little bit. Typically, when I go see him at Christmas time, I'll say, you know, Daddy, remember, your Medicare Part B is going to reset next year, and you have a Plan G, and so you have to meet the deductible, you know, first. He'll say, I know that. Well, then when it comes around January 15th to the first part of February, and I love you, Daddy, but when it comes, you know, around the first of the year, and he gets a bill in the mail, he calls me, why am I getting this bill in the mail when I pay all this money for this supplement that's supposed to pay all my bills? And I said, Daddy, remember we just had this conversation last month. You've got to meet the first $198 deductible. He'll say, oh yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry, son, you know, and then he'll be good. And then after he meets that deductible, then he doesn't have to pay anything else. There's not going to be a whole lot of bills stacking up in your mailbox, because the supplement, you're going to pay a premium to an insurance company for them to pick up your 20% for you after you've met that $198 deductible. So let's look at this real quick. Now, a Part G in North Georgia, in the zip code that I live in, a Plan G on a 65 female cost about $109.29. And I was looking, at some different areas around the country. That same Plan G in New York, Schenectady, New York, is $217 a month. In Jacksonville, Florida, it's $169 a month. In Beverly Hills, it's $135 a month. In Wichita, Kansas, it's $104.95 a month. So it's kind of funny. Now in Tennessee, this will be about $98 a month, thereabout. That's an educated guess. In Alabama, it'll be about 104, something like that. Of course, different areas, like in Georgia, if you live closer to Atlanta, it's going to be a little bit more. Up where I live, it's a little bit less. It's just according to the population, and there's different factors that fall into that. But it's kind of funny looking at the different costs for the same plan that pays out the exact same way around the country. It's kind of funny to me, but anyway, the Plan G is going to be the most comprehensive coverage. Well, John, what about, there's Plan B's, there's Plan D's, there's Plan M's and N's. Well, the second best, okay, or well, not best, I can't use the word best, excuse me, strike that. The second most comprehensive coverage that you can buy is going to be the Plan N. Okay? Now the Plan N, what does it cover? It's going to cover all of these charges over here, okay? So you don't have to worry about any going into the hospital and worry about, running up a big hospital bill. It is going to cover the 20% after you've met the $198 deductible. There's really no way that I can find you a plan that's going to cover that $198 deductible. It just doesn't exist anymore. Now, if you turn 65 before January the 1st of 2020, then you have access to what's called a Plan F that would cover that $198 deductible for you. But that plan is not available if you've turned 65 after January the 1st of 2020. So the Plan N is not going to cover the deductible. Once you've met your deductible, it will cover the 20%, but it's not going to pay for the excess charges. Okay? So you still have this gap here, and you still have this gap here. And there's one other thing that a doctor may impose on you with a Plan N. You may have a $20 copay when you go see the doctor. So this has actually created a gap because you have your $198 deductible that you got to pay. You got to pay this $20 copay. And I'm not saying a Plan N is a bad plan to buy. I sell a lot of Plan Ns because people like it because it covers all this for them and it's picking up this 20% for them. But you could rack up some money with this exposure right here. You could really rack up some dollars. So now the cost difference between a Plan G and a Plan N. Okay, North Georgia, and this is a 65-year-old female, okay? And this is why this is so attractive. $82.76. Okay? So people like that. They don't mind the $20 copay, that's fine. And typically most doctors do not charge, doesn't charge excess charges. So they still have this covered, they still have this covered. That's the main thing that they're worried about. They don't mind paying a $20 copay. They know they got to meet this anyway. So you're paying, about almost $30 less a month, for this plan. They're still covered. Well, that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. Well, then there's people that say, well, Cousin Marty has a Plan D. Well, there was a time when the Plan D was the way to go because there were certain companies that offered a very competitive price for Plan Ds. A Plan D looks just like a G with the exception, so it's going to cover all this, except it's not going to cover the excess charges. It's going to cover this and all this, but there's no copay. So it's just like a Plan N, but the Plan D, there's no copay. So you meet this, but it's not going to cover this. It will cover this. It's going to cover all this. But let me ask you something. In North Georgia, the cost of a Plan D for a 65 female is $127.06 a month. $20 more almost, well, $18 more higher almost than the Plan G. So why not go ahead and get the Plan G that costs different? Because there's companies out there that's really pushing the Plan G, and so they're coming in with very competitive rates right now, wanting you to hop on this Plan G. That's going to cover the excess charges for you. There's no co-pays once you've met that $198 deductible. So why would you pay more money for that? It doesn't make sense to me. All right, and then there's other plans. There's the Plan A that there's still a lot of gaps here, and there's really no point in even talking about those, because it may be right for some people, but for the money, you can't go wrong really if you're looking for the supplement. Now if you're wanting a Medicare Advantage, just knock all this out the window. I'll have another video just for Medicare Advantage. But if you're wanting to go the supplement route, the Plan G or the Plan N is going to be the way to go for the money. Now let's say, John, I don't have $82.76 a month to spend on this. There's one more plan that I want to talk to you about just real briefly. And this is actually kind of new. Used to, there was the high deductible Plan F that some people liked. Now there's the high deductible Plan G. Well, what do you mean? You already got this deductible right here. Absolutely. But what this means, okay, what this means is you have this plan, okay, and by the way, this plan cost in North Georgia, a 65-year-old female, $39.98 a month. Now, the way this works is once you have spent out of pocket $2,300.40, okay, the plan picks up at 100%. Well, what do you mean by that? Okay, so Medicare is going to act like Medicare. You have these charges, you have these charges, you meet the first $198 deductible, then Medicare pays $80, you pay $20. And so basically it's kind of similar to the group health insurance that you've probably had for years through your employer, where you have to pick up 20%. You meet this deductible, then the plan picks up $80, you pay $20. What this is a stop loss, is what it is, because, and what I mean by that is once your doctor bills has added up to $23.40, then the company that you're paying $39.98 for, they're going to now pick up all of your Medicare approved, medically necessary medical charges past $23.40. It's a stop loss. It's a maximum out of pocket in a way, okay? We're not really supposed to call it a maximum out of pocket because that's not the way it's marketed, okay? But I mean, it is what it is. Once you've spent this, then the plan picks up 100%. So, first of the year, you meet this deductible right here, okay? Then, once you've met that, Medicare starts paying $80, you pay $20, okay? Once this 20% plus this reaches this right here, the plan is going to pick up at 100%, and you won't have to pay any more 20% or this that over here or any of that. And it only costs $39.98. It's a inexpensive layer of coverage that I mean, I think it's a no-brainer if you don't mind, you know, paying up to this. You know, you're paying that 20%. You know, then once that 20% reaches this, then the plan's picking up 100%. That's not a bad place to be. Okay, for basically $40 a month. I hope that I've helped you in some way, shape, or form, and I have given a lot of my opinion in this video, but it's an educated opinion. That there's not a whole lot that I haven't seen in my several years of dealing with Medicare products. Now I'm gonna be honest, I haven't sold a lot of this. Typically, I sell the Plan G or the Plan N, but this is available starting this year. It was a high deductible Plan F. Now it's the high deductible Plan G, and you know, this is a good little way to go. The next videos that we're going to do, it'll probably be a couple of days before I'm able to post those. But stay tuned for subjects like, what is Part D? What is Medicare Advantage? How do I choose the correct, the most cost-efficient Part D plan? Which that's going to be the video that's actually going to show my screen, and you can watch me as I go into the Medicare website and navigate around that a little bit, and determine charges and things of that nature. Then we're going to do some stuff for lower income, like a low income subsidy. You know what that is, Medicaid and Medicare. So there's going to be a lot of different videos that should fit your needs. I enjoy doing this. I really get a kick out of it, and I hope this has been informative for you. God bless you. If you have any questions, feel free to either message me, or you can text me. Again, my cell phone number is 423-902-7222. You can feel free to text me, call me. Go on our website, www.covenantlifeandhealth.com, COVENANT, life and health with and spelled out .com, or you can just leave a message in the comments, and I'll be happy to help you any way I can. Again, thank you for joining, and have a great day.